Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. We are here streaming today with some more Black White Overlord D&T. Um, have some things that I wanted to share. So, first and foremost, I heard back after talking about my red white sideboard guide. Heard some folks that were interested in seeing a sideboard guide for the black white Overlord version as well. Something that I don't really think is out there because I think mainly the biggest names in black white Overlord D&T are like Yoshiwada and Shiromune, two Japanese D&T players. So hard for a lot of the English speaking audience to know if there's something out there for them. So I am likely going to try to get a Black White Overlord D&T sideboard guide out before the Legacy Super, which is mtgoupdate.com. Not Legacy Super, Legacy Showcase, whatever. We had the Super like a week or two ago. Legacy Showcase is Sunday the 8th, so a week from this coming Sunday, like, what, 12 days from now, something like that. Inconveniently, like right before Final Fantasy comes out. I guess when you have like one legacy event like every month, something's always going to line up badly. But it feels like we've always had like a big legacy event right before a ban list announcement, or like right before a new set comes out, stuff like that. I always have more fun with like a big legacy event right after something big and impactful happens, but it is what it is. It'd be a nice time to make up a sideboard guide for Black White Overlord D&T before Final Fantasy comes out. Maybe changes some things, probably not, but we'll be trying some cloud stuff anyway. We'll do some experimenting the next couple of weeks after that. So, getting some like actual solid lists and sideboard guides out for people that are like playing very competitively at that point will be a nice upside. So I'll be working on that. And to that end, I wanted to make some edits to Yoshiwada's list. So I made this secondary version, which is literally the changes that I was like talking about during the stream last week, which was just cut the White Orchid Phantom for the third Thalia, cut all the Graveyard Hate, the 2 Macabre, 2 Cage for 4 Leyline of the Void, and this is literally where I would start, and I will probably be like playing with this a little bit, seeing if I want to like tweak any numbers. The only things that you really want to fit in after this are like, you could fit in like, try to fit in the 4th Bowmaster, the 4th Thalia, or the 2nd Formal Wear, but other than that, like maybe do some slight sideboard guide tweaks, stuff like that. But I think a list like this is pretty solid. And I would be playing this list tonight, except chat, if I recalled about 10 minutes before the stream started, chat talked me into like playing a 6th match after our 5th opponent snap conceded because they didn't want to play against D&T. So we played a 6th match, queuing in with just Yoshiwada stock 95 again. So we are still in that league because I have not played any Magic since then, as I predicted. So we will be playing some more Yoshiwada's list. It's good to get a little bit more of a feel for it anyway, and the changes that I want to make are fairly minor, so I think it will not impact a ton, besides a ton of complete equity if we play against like Oops or something. Or every time we draw White Orchid Phantom like last week. That being said, we only have like 4 matches in this because we did do the first one, so like maybe we'll play some with the secondary list afterwards. And as always, as we get closer to this Legacy Showcase, there's like more of a chance that this prelim actually fires. The showcase is in 2 weeks, like maybe this thing fires. We'll sign up for it just in case, and I'll check back in on it after a round or two. But for now, we will simply continue jamming this Legacy League with Yoshiwada's deck. I think I'm likely gonna, unless something like really sours my mood on Black White Overlord, I think I'm probably going to play a Black White Overlord list for the showcase. I know I've been like liking Red White a lot, but I mean, I just haven't played with the Black White list nearly as much lately. It's hard to balance with like not with the amount of Magic that I play, which is kind of not a ton. it's hard to balance being confident in like two separate splashes addressing their strengths and weaknesses and stuff. So I tend to like try to like focus in more on one than the other. But this list has like by far and away the best results, but more by default than by anything else. I think Yoshiwada is obviously like an incredible player, but there's like almost no one else in the challenges that seems to be playing D&T. Besides the occasional, like, I'm in there on occasion, Jamie, a few others. Dog and taxes time, indeed. Then maybe next week. I guess next week we'll play some more because I want to be like prepping for this the showcase. And then the week after that, I guess, is the start of the Cloud Brews. So I know last week I was talking a little bit about like whether or not people wanted to see brewing on stream because it tends to not be nearly as popular as just playing games. But like I have fun brewing and talking about like the deck building decisions and the rationale behind a lot of the choices. But I think timeline-wise, that might not line up. Assuming that the cards are out on Moto on that Tuesday the 10th, which I think they are. Then we'll just jump right in with some cloud lists. Playing against No Toast, huh? Wait, what does Cloud do? It's like the Stoneforge Mystic card. See, that seems pretty good. It's not very good if my opponent is in fact on lands, as MTG Bot seems to think, but I tend to like not really take MTG Bot. I take MTG Bot with a grain of salt often. Also, like just having like Wasteland Vile Recruiter is pretty powerful, even if the rest of the cards kind of suck. 8 Stoneforge time. That is the plan. I'm gonna be testing some like cool 8 Stoneforge brews. Some like mono white 8 Stoneforge stuff. I think its home is probably in like I think red white suffers from not being good. Or not red white. I think mono white suffers from not being good, but red white maybe wants it as like a couple of copies because Cloud really wants you to have castable equipment and Chainsaw's really good. I'll talk more about that as we get closer though. Let's play this game, huh? Very scary start. If my opponent has a life from low, we're pretty fucked. I think I'm fine giving them a construct here. Because if I wasteland and they cast Loam, we just instantly lose. And I do get to like start getting these vials down deployed and active, and then they take the Saga up too, and I can wasteland it, play the other vial, and then let's hope my opponent does not. Oh dear. Okay, that's fine. Now we are in danger of crop rotation, but given that we're on death and taxes, my opponent isn't likely to go for it. But we really don't want to get Pithing Needled. I think we just play Wasteland Vial here. I think that keeps us insulated for this turn. And if they tap out to make a construct, we just Wasteland. If they leave it open, things get really awkward. But we'll just have to wait and see, huh? We really want to try to stall until we get the Vial to 3, so we can be insulated from a lot of cards. Moto's doing that thing again where I can hear the action's happening before there's like a weird amount of lag. So we just have to wasteland this Saga here. very careful about crop rotation for stage. If we like tap out for Overlord, they might just, you know, kill us here. Ouch. Disruptor Flute's really gross. That's pretty brutal. But they don't seem to have any other lands? We have Overlord here. Third land is also nice. We can maybe get like Skyclave for the flute. Do I want to just Overlord here? I almost just want to like cast Thalia right now. They're on 2 mana. They didn't play any lands. We are able to like fetch another basic planes if we want here. Play Thalia, lock out like some of like the 2-drop things, insulate a little bit against crop rotation. Kills. We're at a pretty decent life total. Like, what is in their hand if they didn't play any lands? So they have 2 spells. There's like explorations, saga bullets, or crop rotations. Yeah. This does literal nothing, I think. I mean, it busts the construct, which is why they're playing it, but it's not a card I need to really have on my radar here. We do need to be a little bit worried about dying, but we could chump block for a while. Stoneforge is really nice. This is also probably the best opportunity for me to just play Recruiter, go get Skyclave, take over the game that way. If we get Wastelanded exactly that turn, it gets a little awkward. But we can still like start making chump blocks. You would also like have to not draw a land. I'm never blocking with Thalia here, so let's attack. See what they want to do with their mana or draw or whatever. Alright, so because we have Thalia in play, we are insulated from crop rotation just killing us outright here. There's Loam. Alright, this is starting to get bad, huh? Loam plus Exploration plus double Saga is pretty ugly. Hey, Waffle. Now what was our plan? We tick Vial to 4 and then leave one on 2 because we want to go to Vial up to 5 for Overlord. We leave one on 2 for like Bowmaster chump block or Stoneforge for we Stoneforge for Sash here. So we can beat the Loam. But we obviously can't do that all in one turn, so we just have to let the Loam go for 1 turn. Just debating on whether or not I want to chump block. I think I'd rather just chump block next turn. Although, no, this thing makes haste. They're going to be like getting hasty Saga constructs because they can equip them with boots. We'll have a lot of blockers then. Crop Art wouldn't even kill us with Thalia, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. I was saying that the Thalia insulates us from dying from crop rotation after they hit the land drop. I think I'm just going to take this. It gets a little awkward when like there's a potential Shadow Spear in the mix without Thalia. No, if they hit the land drop, they just rotate a land for... after they played the land drop to cast, before they cast the Loam. They have 3 mana, so they can crop rotation on a 1 mana get stage, and then stage steps. I think I am going to block. Doing Skyclave Boots? I mean, I don't know when we're Skyclave Boots. I think we really need to Skyclave this Disruptor Flute. This file's staying on 2. And then this file's going up to 4 for Overlord. That's good for the future. We would Skyclave boost if we didn't have Thalia, and they had Crop Rot for Lage. I'm confused by whatever it is you're getting at here. Yeah, Flute's on file. We might be able to even like punk out some like lethals here. They're at 11. With if we like Stoneforge for Cauldron or something. They hit Wasteland and Stage. That's pretty bad for me. Wait, we're not dead from that, right? There's no way they have enough mana for Loam plus Activate plus Equip Boots. But we do have to be worried about that. Just in general. Get back all of those. Actually, do they? Are we just dead here? Because of the Alpha Maya, exactly. If they go for it. They do have to be a little bit worried about getting blown up by Solitude if that happens, but... They actually just hit, like, the Alpha Maya stage to kill me through all of my protection? Why they have Cajun play? I mean, I imagine just a main deck card and they played it to buff their construct. This is a odd looking list. Yeah, main deck Flute and Cage. I mean, main deck Cage kind of makes sense with like the amount of oops and plus Reanimator going around. Soul Guide Lantern just really doesn't feel like it cuts it nowadays. Come on, just like make a Saga Construct and equip that. Don't go for lethal. What if I have Solitude? Damn it. Pretty unfortunate, but it happens. I don't think there's a lot I could have really done about this one, huh? Yeah, if the file was on 3, we could like threaten something at least, but the file kind of needed to take up to 5 to threaten Yorion and Overlord stuff. Rough beats. Oh well. Is what it is. At least with this iteration of the list, Macabre does do a lot more than Leyline. Let's get these Bowmasters out of here and these Thalias out of here. Phantom Blade out of here. I guess Thoughtseize is much better on the draw than or on the play than on the draw. It's still pretty bad though. Debating on whether like 4 more actually does anything in this matchup. But I don't really know exactly all of the stuff in there. Like, they could easily have Dismembers. They look to be maybe mono green. They had the green-black Canopy land, so maybe it's like sideboard Dismembers to answer Magus, stuff like that. That would come in here, and then Formlore pulls a lot of weight. I think this looks pretty fine to me. And then we probably just cut all the Thoughtseizes on the draw and board back in, like, Bowmasters or Thalias or something. But Thoughtseizes is, like, passable exactly on turn 1. Alright. Passable exactly on turn 1, huh? I think you do... We could either bottom the Thoughtseize here or Thoughtseize on turn 1. My opponent kept 7. I kind of want to Thoughtseize on turn 1 and bottom the Solitude. Well. I think we just want to take this Malevolent Rumble, huh? The Flute's, like, medium annoying, but we do just have, like, 3 lands. We just basic, cast Recruiter and stuff. I think I'm fine taking the Rumble. What's up, Lackey? How's it going? Probably just, like, Fetchland Vial next turn. Did leg day at the gym. Currently fine. I'll probably suck tomorrow. I feel that. I hate... Leg day is the worst. You're just gonna, like, blind flute something here? That'd be nice. Then our Vial maybe gets to live. If they just, like, blind flute Stoneforge or something. Thinking about it. Like Stoneforge or Felia or something. Wasteland? I mean, they are also a Wasteland deck, so that feels a little bit less likely. Also, I guess their hand does kind of suck if I Wasteland them. Boseiju, Yavimaya. Nice insurance if they don't blind name it. My Wastelands are better than theirs. On average, I would say yes. But sometimes you get, like, totally fucked, but your Wasteland, my Wasteland is definitely better most of the time. I almost don't want to play the Vial, so they, like, name something else. I think we just play the Vial and have them name it. I don't need the Vial. I'd rather not deal with this flute later. The Vial will tick up, and if I need it, I can blow up the flute with a fair number of cards later down the road. On the fetch. Yeah, I didn't want to, like, have to fetch in response to the Disruptor Flute, and I'm always fetching a basic. I'm never, like, fetching Surveil there. Better chance of, like, finding more lands to play, which is nice with our Vial. Now, what the hell am I doing with this thing, huh? Oh god, Yavimaya. I hate Yavimaya versus MTGO. What the hell do we tutor here, huh? How do you find the lands matchup? It's not as good as... Red-white, it's much nicer, but I think it's, like, pretty largely fine. You can't beat, like, their best starts, but it is what it is. There's not, like, Stoneforge. Just punt the problem down the road. They have Boseijus, so getting Sag isn't very good. We just, like, Stoneforge for Cauldron exactly. Just try to kill them. They're at 18. We have Loam locked down. The only other thing that I would think about is, like, Felia. Felia is really slow. Stoneforge is also kind of slow. Phantom is the safe play, but very, like, really slow and boring. Like, if I get Felia and they have Caracas, it sucks. If I have Stoneforge, they need removal spell. I think we'll just get Stoneforge Mystic. How D&T versus lands has changed over time. Like, yeah, really bad to really good. Yeah. What if we just Wisp? Yeah, it's maybe okay. It's just like also slow and just kind of builds a medium board presence. The real height was when Sanctum Prelate got printed before they started playing Barbarian Ring. It was just like near unlosable. Those were good times. All right, there's some beefy Saga constructs here. Ooh, they can do equip and attack too. Jeez, maybe we have to Stoneforge for formal wear. Just like make some chump blockers, and then re-recruiter. Man, if only I had grabbed a White Orchid Phantom, huh? So this Saga probably grabs Shadow Spear if it's in their deck, which makes me inclined to block. I just realized that the cage did actually shut off formal war if that ever happened. When I said when I said cage did literal nothing besides buff the construct. They don't run Shadow Spear thing. I genuinely don't know. I haven't looked at lands lists so recently enough to know what like the Malevolent Rumble lands decks are usually on. If they're not on Shadow Spear, it would be nice for me. But also, we're blocking later just blocks for more. Assuming that they don't have Shadow Spear, and if they do have Shadow Spear, they're still like attacking with 2 constructs, and we can block one that doesn't has trample. Maybe we. Oh, that's nice, but awkward because I can't kill this guy. But I can Stoneforge plus Plow the next construct, so it's pretty fine. I think we just get called. They are notably out of Visages, actually, so like we could Sash does get a little bit more interesting. Formal wear is also kind of interesting. I mean, it makes our blocks better. It's worse if they have some piece of graveyard hate to get off of the Sagas. But no, they're just going to needle. They're just going to needle my Stoneforge, so we just get formal wear. We can always pitch formal wear to the Solitude absolute worst case if like they get Soul Guide Lantern, or like for some reason there's a cage still in their deck. They'd probably just get Map or Needle here. I'm not going to Plow this because I don't really care about their life total, and I'd rather have them waste a mana equipping to this construct. Maybe that's wrong. I can't imagine what they do with like 1 mana here. Sure. Loam back those guys, huh? Do I just have to Macabre this? I feel like I do. Don't really think I can let them have another song. Although it looks... I can take out the 2 lanes that matter. And then block with Stoneforge, Formal back Stoneforge gets Sash. They get like 1 turn of Loaming, and hopefully they don't hit anything relevant. I think that's the plan. Make them top deck. I mean, top 3 top deck, which is still pretty good. I think I do want to hit Beseiju plus Saga with my... Sash moment, yeah. So now we want to block with this. We could block with the Recruiter and just get Macabre, get the second Macabre and just kill the Loam now. And then we just have to beat a single construct and we have a Solitude in our hand. That's probably way better than the Sash line, huh? Now they're like literally top decking. Wasteland's nice eventually. Not really exactly sure when, but I'd be worried about my clock. I have a third game to win as well. I think there's a likelihood that I'm blocking with Stoneforge Mystic this turn, so I will not attack. Seed of Hope. Maybe a Flute or Map. It's kind of fine, because if they get Map for a thing, we could Wasteland it, and if they Flute the Wasteland, then they don't have Map. Really just want to hit like 5 mana and Yorion, the Formalware, and a bunch of other stuff. It might just be you hit 5 mana Yorion, just the Formalware, and get back the Recruiter or something. Because we might end up like chump blocking twice. If we draw like a white card, we might end up just like pitch cast Solitude, kill this, pick up Yorion, try to hit land 5, and then flicker both these next turn. What did they choose? They chose Flute. Maybe they Flute Yorion? I feel like they're not going to Flute name Wasteland if I just pick up Yorion. Maybe they do? I'd be okay with it. I want this Wasteland for mana. Nice. Let's keep ticking this up. Casting Solitude doesn't do anything here, because it can't target the thing with Ward 1. Guess the plan is maybe just take 7, then cast Yorion, huh? Block the next turn, but extract our Recruiter value. And if we draw land, we can just, like, pitch cast Solitude. Guess we do go to 3 here. Oh, God. Of course. Worst possible top deck for me. Worst possible top deck for me. Alright, that is a little bit better. I now have to figure out how to win this game, though. It involves Yorioning a lot. Does it involve Solituding this turn, actually? And then chump blocking with Solitude. Is that better than just casting Yorion, flickering Formalware, and Recruiter? Formalware gets back Stoneforge, Recruiter gets Solitude. God, what the hell do I do here? Next turn is this Yorion, this Urza is just getting a turn closer to killing me. I genuinely don't know how. This is like really awkward. It's tough because I'm at 3 and my opponent has Hasty Constructs, so it is quite scary. We have some milled our Cauldron, so we can't block with it. I guess we maybe grab an answer for this Saga. We grab, like, White Orchid Phantom here. And then the Stoneforge picks up Sash, and we pitch Sash to the Solitude to kill a Construct or something like that. We can, like, repeat a Yori on my opponent into the dirt eventually. Yeah, with Yori on loose, we can win. We do have to be cognizant of our time. I spent a lot of time in game 1 just to die. Hey, King Mudkips, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Yep, that's expected. I'll block with the Stoneforge because flickering it doesn't give me any more value. If we draw another land, it's actually really nice for us. Because we can White Orchid into Yorion. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. That's much better. We can just Flicker Wisp the Contract and kill the Saga, and then we're good. I should kill them as fast as possible. Can we get a Gambit with channel points I need to fill alive? Yeah, wait, that's not unreasonable. Pitch it to me at a less time-intensive part of the stream, and I'll consider it. Now we just attack all Yorion, flicker our board, start shooting up lands. Formal arm back a bunch of stuff. Oh, they drew Loam, but we can just blow up theirs as a Saga every turn. We can Witch Enchanter the Vial, or the Disruptor Flute on Vial. This is probably stupid because I'm wasting a bunch of time doing this, but... I don't know. Sure. Is this good, chat? I can't tell. Yeah, tough call. I'm mostly just taking game actions now. Maze of Ith, ooh. Stalls a little bit more. I'll shoot this Wasteland so we can Wasteland the Maze of Ith, I guess. Oh, sure. Yeah, you got it. Sure, you got it. Oh god, I forgot that there is a Yavimaya in play. I thought that cast would be a lot faster. I'm just like making sure that I have lethal in play next turn. But it was probably ill-advised, wasted like 10 seconds, you know? Alright, yeah, 6.5 minutes is probably enough to win the game 3 versus lands. Feels so much better to watch from the D&T side than it is from the land side. Alright. Don't really know what we want in these last 3 spots here on the draw. I might just want Thought Seizes still, between, like, Flute, possibly Force of Vigor, some number of, like, hands that don't immediately cast, like, a Malevolent Rumble. These lands builds look like they have an okay amount of, like, Thoughtseize hits. And, like, these cards are not very helpful. I think Thalia is probably, like, the most arguable. But I think Thoughtseize is, like, legitimately okay versus these lands variants. Yeah, I thought he was good amount better versus this build. I think it is the 81st. This 4 Thoughtseize is like the 81st best card. But I do think that Thoughtseize is also the 78th through 80th best card. Looking at this sideboard here, we could board in the Orion. That is an option. Take your time to when you're in a high stress time crunch here between games. Take your time in the sideboarding, take a breath. It's always good when you're like tense. If you're running down the clock and you have a game 3, just you have time right now, take a breather. Think about how you want to play the games. Think about the types of hands you want to keep so you waste less time. Man, I was talking so much shit about that White Orchid Phantom, and then I guess the White Orchid Phantom. The White Orchid Phantom would have been better the first tutor when I got by the crop rotation. But after that, it was like kind of, it could have been any. I could have recruited from almost any card. It was nice that it fit perfectly into the mana curve with like the Flicker Wisp targeting the Construct wearing the boots, and I had exactly 2 mana left over to White Orchid Phantom rather than having to like cast a Witch Enchanter that turn or something. But I think the end result of that game would have been largely the same. All right. All right, we're keeping. It's a little, kind of a little weak, but it's fine. We have like Thoughtseize, or we have the old Thoughtseize plus Vial thing here. I think I just am slamming Thoughtseize. Brief moment to think about it. Yeah, we have 3 lands. I think I just want to Thoughtseize like a Rumble out of their hand or something. Well, they have Loam, which isn't good, but we'll at least take something that helps activate the Loam. I think I might just not play this Vial. Just like Felly it into Skyclave and to try to get into Witch Enchanter or something. Loam for no targets. Oh, Loam for this, exactly this Cradle? Sure. You're gonna Beseiju my Swamp? No. Your hand is Beseiju, second Yavimaya. Does tagging Loam with Flute do anything? It gets Beseiju'd, so probably not. It does ramp me, which is kind of cool. It also gets Beseiju'd on their turn, so it stops Loam for a turn. Maybe it's better than Felia. Kind of into it. Is that weird? It's just gonna get Besaju'd, but yeah. But I think it might be more interesting than Felia here. Oh, there's a stage, which is very scary. We currently don't have a good answer to that. But they can't necessarily go for it if we have, like, open mana. But we have, I think, 2 draw steps. Their hand right now is Beseiju, Yavimaya, Loam. So they could Beseiju, Sorcery Speed, play second Yavimaya, cast the Loam. I think I want Shadowy Backstreet here to surveil. Try to find an answer to a Loam or a... does this buy me any time at all? It is actually kind of nice with the Felia. And if they play out a piece, it probably doesn't actually buy me any time. I have 4 mana next turn. It blocks, too. I think this is good enough. But it's kind of awkward. Really need to take down the exploration. It might be able to, like, combine with Felia in, like, a block situation, but I do need to... So they're down the Beseiju. They get back the Beseiju and the Yavimaya and the stage here. They play the stage. Their hand is Beseiju, Yavimaya. If I spend this turn blowing up the exploration, which I should... I guess we play the Vial here and just Skyclave it rather than Witch Enchantering. Next turn we could potentially block the Merit Lage and then try to Flicker Wisp it. Oh, I forgot about the Tabernacle. Fuck me. It's so annoying. Do I just have to sack this Skyclave? I could play the Witch Enchanter as a land. Kind of depends a little bit on what they do, I suppose, but... So we need 4 mana to White Orchid plus Felia to buy me a turn or 2. Their hand is what? Yavimaya, Loam, Beseiju. Beseiju, Wasteland, Peatland, Yavimaya. So they can still threaten. I think I'm going to keep the Skyclave and play Witch Enchanter as a land, and White Orchid plus Felia. Oh, that's very good. Now we can Plow plus Felia, and then get White Orchid Felia online. I think I still want to shock in the Witch Enchanter for more mana to play through this Tabernacle. Alright, they have Wasteland. kind of completely stopped tracking their hand, so I'm just gonna start kind of just fucking sending and Felia White Orchiding all their lands and hoping for the best. That's kind of the plan. I think I'm just gonna blow up this tabernacle. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to add Yorion to my hand this turn. I think I'd rather Surveil. Do have to deal like 38 damage. Yeah, Tabby for clock saving is 100% my reasoning. What am I blowing up next? Yavimaya for clock saving? No, they have a second Yavimaya. That's bad. I can't really blow up anything, because they can sack basically anything that I target. Oh, they're trying to make a blocker. That's good. I guess we just target the wasteland. I don't really care if they wasteland me. And rather them, like, not cycle if they don't want to. Not loaming makes sense. That might just be in the White Orchid Phantom Abyss, huh? Without an exploration or anything. They need to find an answer to Felia or White Orchid Phantom. I'll target the Peatland, I guess. They just cycle it, but targeting the Yavimaya does literal nothing when they know they have Yavimaya in hand. Do they still have Beseiju in hand? Yes, pretty sure. Because then we saw 2 Beseijus. And now we see 0 Beseijus? Did we see 2 Beseijus last game, actually? Anyway, I see 0, so they have at least 1. Looking for, I don't know, a 3-drop? And not really looking for that. I think I'm going to target the Peatland this time, I guess. Because they're kind of incentivized to want to wasteland me off of 5 mana here, I think, a little bit. Maybe not. Hard to say. Oh, sure. I guess they're not incentivized to wasteland me off of 5 mana now. We should be able to close this out. Mill Saga. We can just blow up the Saga every turn if they, like, loam it back. They rumble for Boseiju, Maze, Mox, Ancient Tomb. Maze is kind of annoying. I guess I just blow it up. Kill Yavimaya. Yeah, maybe we're supposed to blow up the Yavimaya. Also saves me time clicking my lands to cast my spells. They choose Mox Diamond. This is a good turn to just attack, flicker the spawn, and then cast Yorion, I think. Just for more damage. Flicker the White Orchid Phantom that way. Could also attack, flicker the Mox Diamond, but I think they just have, like, lands in hand, right? They have Loam plus second Yavimaya in hand currently. No, they discard a second Yavimaya. They can finally blow it up. I don't know what's in their hand. I'll be real. Maybe we just, like, Solitude this attack, flicker the Phantom. Gets power in play. Don't necessarily have to cast the Yorion yet. Ignore the Eldrazi, attack, flicker the Mox Diamond, cast Yorion, flicker Phantom. I guess we could flicker Skyclave, eat the Mox Diamond, huh? Maybe that's the play. Attack all, flicker the Eldrazi spawn, cast Yorion, flicker Skyclave, and White Orchid Phantom, shoot the Yavimaya, eat the Mox Diamond, they have a 1-1. And then I guess I'll do the 1-1 next turn if I want. Yeah, their hand is Loam plus, I think, maybe random card, maybe a Loam thing that they picked up a few turns ago or something. I don't know for certain. Okay, they loaned back a Tabernacle to try to waste my time, I guess. Oh, it's casting 5 drops, so it's actually pretty valid. I think their plan might very well be to Tabernacle me every turn. I should play the Krog. Tabernacle me every turn of the game and try to time me out that way, but I don't think that's going to work. I attack for like 7, then 8, then 9. Yeah, that seems like their actual plan. I'm pretty sure I can beat that, though. Yeah, now we flew Loam. It's 8, 9, 10. Not lethal, but... Yeah, we have a minute and a half. We should be able to kill him. Oh, there's Mazavith. That is kind of annoying. Fair enough. We just have to blow up the Mazavith every turn now? We do have a lot less damage. Oh, they're tapping the Mazavith? That doesn't seem right. They take so much. think I just get, I don't know, Flicker Wisp, I guess, is the play. So we can attack for lethal next turn. Through a Maze plus a Tabernacle. We did it! See, plenty of time. 6.5 minutes. We copped him, I put on a clock, even. Crowd would stop the nonsense. I think you could decline and still win here. Yeah, that's also true. I was, like, a little bit worried. If they, like, just kept the Maze untapped that turn, our attacks suddenly were only dealing 2 a turn. It gets a little bit worse, huh? Because if we have to, like, Felia the White Orc to blow up the Maze of it, then every turn they're, like, loaming back the Maze and playing the Maze again. They just get to Maze my Felia every turn. It does get a little bit more awkward. What we got there? But yeah, I suppose Macabre could have taken out the Tabernacle and the Maze of Ith or some shit like that. Damn, alright. All the shit that I was talking about White Orchid Phantom, and White Orchid Phantom was exceptionally good that game. I will absolutely give them that. Sometimes it is a good bullet to have in your deck. Alright, yeah, this ain't happening, huh? But we do get to develop our board. Then yeah, we're not paying all our mana. But like, what do we develop on the board? We cast Yorion for minimal value. I think we're probably still fine in that case, but we cast Yorion that turn. I guess we don't flicker the White Orchid Phantom that turn so we can get in for 4. And then we just cast Yorion, flicker the Skyclave, and the Phantom, the Skyclave eats the Mox. And then suddenly we have like a 4/5 in play, and the Maze of Ith is easier to beat. Yeah, let's leave that showcase there. That prelim isn't happening. Hey, how are you? Thanks for the resub. Appreciated. What I'm hearing is that we're back on 4 White Orchid Phantom. Look, if I could play against like 5 lands players, you could talk me into playing a bunch of White Orchid Phantoms again, but reality dictates differently. I do want some water though. I ran out of water earlier. My water wasn't cold yet, so I'm gonna go grab that. And then we will continue onward. Alright. We're back. Play some more Legacy. Nothing like a good old 48-minute long lands matchup to get the blood flowing. plus sideboarding time. I guess over 50 minutes lands matchup. That's just how that matchup goes so often. Sometimes your opponent will run you over with like the real nuts, like exploration loam saga hands or something, and D&T can't keep up. But very often those games will just some fucking drag out knockdown fights. Knockout, drag, knock down, drag out. Yeah, that's the first one's right? Now, Harayan, if you're in chat and not also streaming and decided to resub to me or something, if you're only in chat, please don't show up with blue-white Stifle Not Pile. Please don't cast any Turn 1 Torp Orbs on my stream. Is Harayan live? Harayan's like just always live, I assume. If it's like the evening tonight and it's a day that ends in Y, he's streaming. Yes, he is in fact streaming. He's streaming, but I don't know if he's playing. Let's find out. Let's tune into the Harayan stream while we wait here. He is playing a blue-black Reanimator, looks like. Alright. Yeah, he hasn't been on the knots in a bit. Great for stream morale. Man, it's a bit awkward, but hand's good. Hands like this, I never know if I want to fetch Scrubland or Swamp. I think on average you want to fetch Scrubland here, but then you feel really stupid when you find another fetch land or a basic down the road. You'd rather have 2 basics than 1, but you'd rather have two lands to tap for white against like a single wasteland, given the context of this hand. But we do have a second black spell. It's only really a punish if we get like wastelanded, and then the only land we find is exactly our wastelands after that. I don't know. I comfort blanket basics. I fetch basics probably a little bit too often. Oh no! At least we had to cast a spell, huh? What's going on here? Jeskai? No. Binding. Beans, then? Kinda wanna take this plow. Do some bowmastering. And hope that that carries me across the finish line. They're probably gonna go Tundra, Cycle, Lorien Revealed. Although they might turn one Brainstorm, set up with Lorien Revealed. I think we're taking the plow, though. Tempted to take the Lorien Revealed. But then they just, like, plow my Bowmaster, and then they just get to cast their Brainstorms and stuff. Hey, the boat guy, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. I'm gonna take this plow. We're kind of fucked if my opponent activates their Wastelands ability, but we'll just find another land. It'll be fine. Question is, when am I supposed to cast this Bowmaster? I think I'm just supposed to jam it as soon as they cycle, which is presumably right now. Because, like, just holding up 2 mana is, like, so just the most blatantly obvious thing you could possibly do. So I think we just jam now. I don't think we, like, try to gotcha them or anything. Who'd ever activate Wasteland? What kind of person does that? Yeah, exactly. Who would ever... Oh, fuck. It's fine. It's not fine. Alright, Bowmasters, I believe in you. Surely my opponent won't have a third land to cast their Leyline Binding. Surely my opponent wouldn't have a third land to cast their Leyline Binding. Land, 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 land. Surely. I think we probably lose this game, huh? I think if we draw, like, lands for the next 2 turns, we have a shot. If we miss here, I'm just gonna pack it in. Alright, fine. We play on. No, that's pretty beatable, all things considered. Alright, so they never have days. Is there a world where they force Soul my Ophelia? Probably is. Probably not super likely, but it's definitely not 0. If we draw a land, I might not even Solitude. I might just flicker it. Oh, man. Drew a good flicker target. How unlucky for us. I guess we just Solitude it, huh? What do we get off this first Stoneforge? Kind of want to get Sash? Do we just Cauldron check immediately? No, Cauldron comes with the second, assuming that the Ophelia gets to attack successfully. I don't think I want Phantom Blade. Formal War seems pretty bad, so I guess we just get Sash by default. Yeah. Alright, Cauldron check. Where's my land MDF, my MDFC that's equipment on the front side and land on the back side? Oof. That's a pretty good terminus. I guess it's actually just okay. Most of this is extracted a fair amount of value otherwise. We're no longer allowed to ask for more MDFCs. That's true, yeah. That's valid. But what if we got a MDFC, but like you're not allowed to be like you gotta be chill about it? What is in my opponent's deck? I'm very perplexed by their like choice of cards. My opponent's like Leyline Binding, Stock Up, Murktide Regent, Terminus, 4-color, 5-color Beansstick. Well, this is all pretty bad. This Brainstorm's gone. This Terminus is gone. I would expect to see a Mystic Sanctuary at some point. It'd be nice to like beansless beans. I mean, I have to assume that there's a beans in my opponent's deck somewhere. I guess we just told up Ophelia. Copy of Stoggo for your Peasant Cube. It's like $8. Yeah, it's crazy. Wasn't it like 14 or some dumb shit at its peak? If they cast beans here, I'll cast Ophelia in response. Loam. Oh, thank God they exiled their Wasteland. Loam back your single Flooded Strand. That's allowed. I will cast in response. I don't think it changes anything. There's a world where they have like force and they really need to force the Ophelia for some reason. Doesn't seem very likely. Ooh, well, they'll probably just force this. Get Stoneforge. Wow, this is all working? This is all just allowed? gonna keep letting me get away with this? I guess this is like second Terminus. They're gonna do the thing that I was talking about, Mystic Sanctuary. But then I'd like still just get a bunch of value. I don't think I want more Felias. I don't really think I want more Recruiters. Is it possible that I just want this Solitude? Like, just in case there's like a second Murktide or something down the road? Maybe I do want more Felias. This Felia's gonna die. Assuming that they're gonna like Terminus me. Felia is something that costs it's like cheap. We are lacking in Murktide answers or like big idiot answers, and we have a ton to do assuming we ever hit like one more fucking land drop. So we could also eventually like Stoneforge form or form back the Philly. I think we do honestly just grab Solitude. This feels like it's got to be Mystic Sanctuary back Terminus, right? Yeah, all right, sure. But I don't know. Still have 7 cards in hand. Unfortunately, none of them killed this up the Beanstalk. Be nice to prevent my opponent from running away with it too much. We have to like recruit for a Skyclave, and Skyclave, my opponent's not cast a single Force of Will, and they're halfway through their deck, so. I'm not supposed to Solitude this because I can draw white source for Sash. They actually haven't played land yet, though, right? They used Mystic Sanctuary, put Terminus on top. They immediately cast Terminus, triggered up the Beanstalk, and then cast Uro. We're doing pretty good for it being turn 8 and me not having any lands. For me not drawing a land. I guess we drew 1 land, right? To cast our spells on like turn 4. Oh, God. Alright, I don't think we're winning this game. I think we missed our land drops a tiny bit too much. Oh, well, we get 3 mana for exactly 1 turn. I don't think it's this turn, because I don't really think casting a Recruiter card is going to do anything for me. A bit of permanent imbalance. Just a touch. Multiple copies of Stock Up. I kind of like. I'm curious to see how exactly their Beans deck is built. I don't know how much of it will actually affect my sideboarding decisions, because it's probably just like cut Thalia's board in. Actually, do we have any cards to sideboard in this matchup? We might have 0. Maybe Wrath of the Skies, maybe Flute over Thalia's. Let's take a look back in here. 4 up the Beanstalks, you say? It's a lot of the Beanstalks. All beans builds are made up. I fully agree. Their Leyline Binding were just not on the screen. Alright. Alright. Surely they can't have a Force of Will in their hand. There's no way. If we do it real fast, they won't notice. Nice. Maybe I should just let that Tameo activate and draw 12 cards. Only draws like 8 cards. They're gonna attack themselves for no reason? Probably not. I'm really enjoying these cards. Just they have a second binding somewhere, right? It's like over here. They have a binding on my Stoneforge. If we could pair this Thoughtseize, we could like try to get through a single copy of Force of Will. Which of my 3-mana spells do I want to resolve the most? I guess Formal Wear for Recruiter the Guard is just slightly better than Recruiter the Guard. I wouldn't say it's plausible, because I think my opponent's going to kill me after they cast a single copy of Force of Will. Oh, Force Negation, alright. Well, they don't draw 4 cards. I guess maybe I should have played Recruiter, huh? Play around Force Negation. If we draw Caracas, I guess, maybe? Because they exiled their Loam, and they used their Wasteland. So if we draw Caracas, we might actually be able to deck them. They gotta have like a 4th Aerolingus in there, though. Oh, Invisible to Fairy. Pretty good. We still draw Caracas. Man, I shouldn't have burnt that plow on the Tamiya that didn't matter, huh? Oh, here's the 4th Aerolingus. Alright, we were just dead. Sure. Fair enough. Important information, or I guess medium important information. I mean, probably Intuit there's a 4th in there somewhere. Alright. Probably just do this. These Deafening Silences, or these Wraths are not very good. They're like okay against non-fireball 4ths. They are sometimes good at cleaning up some beans, but not not very. I think this White Ogre Phantom's also pretty bad. They have 2 basics. It can like try to mess with Leyline bindings, but I guess this Phantom Blade is also pretty terrible. But that's too many cards because I don't think these flutes actually do anything. Tamiyo is also an excuse to make this card like at least a little bit plausible. Do we just board the Thalias back in? Is Blade better than a copy of Thalia? I don't think so. Just run it like that. Try to draw more lands next game, but not too many. Not too many deck. You can like have a good safe number of lands would be nice. All right. This hand can work. Bottom Recruiter, I think. Thoughtseize into Overlord into Recruiter. Oh, opponent's 1 to 5. I love a good mold a 5 into my Thoughtseize. These are all pretty good cards, but we have a Wasteland to really fuck their shit up. Stockup's always a 2-for-1. Stockup's always only a 2-for-1, whereas Beans can eventually rack up more. Perfect mana for casting Wrath of the Skies. Perfect, man. If we're casting this Flicker Wisp, God, I was thinking about it too when I fetched the basic swamp, and I was like, man, if we hit exactly Flicker Wisp to pair with this Overlord the Balemerc, it's gonna really suck because I can't cast it off of my basic swamp, basic plains, wasteland. Ugh. I mean, we could like get Wisp, Recruiter for Witch Enchanter the Overlord. I kind of want to use this wasteland. It's only good if we find more lands, but also good to keep them off of stock up and stuff, huh? When they presumably fetch like a surveil land. Between Wisp and Thalia, I think I'm just gonna get greedy. I think we're just not gonna win the game if we don't hit more land drops. And if we hit more land drops, this Flicker Wisp is just way, way better than Thalia. Although, like, Thalia Wasteland's kind of nuts versus their Mold of 5. So maybe that was stupid. They're not fetching, which actually makes some amount of sense to insulate themselves from Wasteland. Ooh. I could Wasteland their Wasteland if I wanted to. Keep them off of stock up, or I could just recruit Witch Enchanter, which I think is what I'm going to do. Notably, like, they either have to Wasteland my Wasteland to protect their other mana, which means they can't cast stock up, or they cast stock up and then we can hit the land drop and then Wasteland them still. They like fetch basic island here maybe? Yeah. Dig up like a Force of Will, and then we're still pretty far ahead. Draw Thoughtseize would be kind of nuts. Pretty unnecessary though. Pretty happy to just Wasteland. I guess I'm not that happy about it. We'll see. Reevaluate depending on what we draw here. Well, it doesn't really do anything. I think I will just put a bunch of shit into play. But I'm also kind of regretting not grabbing the Thalia. Maybe I'd like want to play around. No, they haven't set up Terminus, so don't really have to play around getting Terminus. More Bowmasters or Thalia now? I think I want Thalia now. I think I will Wasteland their Wasteland. Protects my double white and just cuts them off of being able to cast spells through a Thalia potentially. This is 2 mana binding on Overlord. If we draw a land, we really put him in the blender. If not, Thalia is still kind of... Do we just Wisp the Recruiter here? It's more mana efficient. Oh no, we could Wisp our Witch Enchanter and blow up the Leyline Binding. And just try to just aggro my opponent out. 2 lands casts like the rest of the spells in my hand. I kind of don't hate that. Maybe this is like greedy, but it's also sick as hell. Look how much fucking damage this is. It's like lethal, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. It is actually. Alright, never mind. It's all calculated. I'm a genius. Nice. Nice arrow. Pyroclasm? Wow. Wow, we just got fucking wrecked. Holy shit. fucking obliterated. Oh, we can buy back the land, which is kind of nice. I think I am just going to buy back the land. And play. They actually can't cast Uro, given their current mana base, which is kind of funny. I think I just kind of want Bowmaster. Man, here I was sitting here thinking that they couldn't possibly Wrath me. They get me with the old Pyroclasm. Woof. I'm gonna do a Witch Enchanter here. Then do I just Sorcery Speed Bowmaster again? They know about it. Plays into the second Pyroclasm. Do I play this land out? Playing the land out is bad if they Wasteland it and answer my Overlord. It's good because my hand is full of 2-drops, so I do think I play it out. I think I play it out and also hold up the basic planes to plow the Uro. Yeah, I think I just Bowmaster them. I guess maybe I could have played around, like, natural Terminus. That would have been a little unfortunate. 1 mana binding. Sure. Sure. Three, 4, 5 damage currently. Second Uro, plowing this does nothing. Crocus is nice. It probably just gets wastelanded, but they still can't cast the Uro as of yet. Wondering how I want to sequence my spells here. We can't get Cauldra because it got milled, but we can get Sash, which is kind of nice if they miss on Uro again. So I think it's just tap out for Thalia plus Stoneforge. They did notably Ponder. They shuffled on Ponder, so they don't know their top card. I think I just tap out Thalia Stoneforge for Sash. Man's Wrath, this guy's looking pretty terrible, huh? Stoneforge for pre-war form life. Pretty tempting, huh? What happens if we get, like, Terminus? Is that really bad for me? No, if they Terminus me and then we just eat both Uros. Well, they Terminus me and then Wasteland and we only eat 1 Uro. And then we have the Plow. I think we get Sash. Alright, we did it. They did, in fact, die. A little bit closer than I would have liked. We got there. A lot of games where we're just sitting on, like, 2 mana. Notably, that was self-inflicted, that game. But I stand by that play. Pyroclasm's a good one to keep on the radar, certainly, for our post-board games. These Rathalos guys sucked, but, like, I can't imagine that game goes much differently if we're sitting on, like, a Phantom Blade or a White Orchid Phantom or a Disruptor Flute in hand that game. And there was a chance that, like, what if they just, like, drew 4th that turn and just cast 4th for 4 or something, and we can just cast Wrath of the Skies to sweep them up, to Wrath of the Skies for 0 to get in those last points of damage. So I think it's, like, defensible. It's pretty bad, but it's defensible. 1x Mindbreak Trap to get them, huh? Tempting. I do really like that Overlord activates your formal wares in matchups like these, where like formal is theoretically a good card, but oftentimes like just doesn't have any fodder. All right, well, see, it's pretty reasonable. These Skyclaves can be a little weak, but well, certainly this won't be a game where I fetch basic swamp and then get my one dual land wastelanded and then cry for the rest of the game about never hitting another land drop, right? Yeah, it's fine. Protect your beanstalk, maybe. We at least have a bunch of Skyclaves to eventually snap some beanstalks. I was afraid, a little afraid that I was just gonna get Veil of Summer. That'd been a real bummer. Alright. I feel like it's just Brainstorm, and then if they untap and cast Beans, then we Thoughtseize the stock up, and then we Skyclave the Beans. And otherwise, we're just gonna Thoughtseize the stock up next turn anyway. When in doubt, Thoughtseizing Brainstorm's like usually like it's hard for that to be a bad play. Taking the best card in Legacy out of your opponent's hand and not letting them cast it is like pretty good. What does this mean? It's also a little awkward here that I drew my 2-drop. I can't cast on curve because I kind of want to Thoughtseize this stock up. I dare say stock up was a great choice. It might have been. Given that we had second Thoughtseize, I was if that was my only copy of Thoughtseize, I think I would have taken stock up. What does this mean? My opponent, like, they just didn't hide any good cards on their Brainstorm, I guess is what that means. Or maybe they just like hid their good card and it was a Leyline Binding. I think I just want to take this stock up. Like, you know, play around fucking days or some shit, I don't know. Spell Snare, holy shit, I'm a genius. God, look at me expertly playing around this Spell Snare. I kind of wanted to take it, but I think we can just kind of play around it for a long time instead. Tundra. Loamback Misty, sure. My hand is not very conducive to attacking and dealing any sort of damage. This would be a good turn to cast this Stoneforge Mystic, huh? Just add Yori onto hand? Like, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of other good plays. It's either that or cast a Flicker Wisp, which is not very useful into this card, this fucking Endurance. It is kind of a disaster that I don't just, like, have more land drops to hit. I don't feel nearly as comfortable. But I do think that it is probably my best play here. There's a Beanstalk, thank God. I can cast my spells now. There's the Hedge Maze. We know Endurance, Spell Snare, 2 unknowns. More lands is also great. Yeah, tragic that our third copy of Skyclave was here, but you never know. Yeah, I'm just not that interested in casting a 2-2 because it's just like it's really hard to pressure my opponent when they can just hold up Endurance a lot of the time and not cast it. We're not really allowed to attack into this Endurance very often, which makes casting a naked creature there less interesting to me. I think we can kind of just afford to spend the mana on Yori on there. They might have shuffled away the Spellster now. notably. Unknown Spell Snare is a pretty bad card. So there's a... Alright, never mind. I'm not casting Stoneforge. Unless we draw 5th land. Alright. So this is a little dangerous because they brainstorm. No, then they fetch and then they cast Beans. Okay, so they don't know their top card. I think I am going to cast the Stoneforge in here. They might have kept the Snare, like, forever, but a known Snare is fairly bad, so there's a decent chance that they brainstormed it away, and this is probably the best chance for the Stoneforge to resolve anytime soon. The fact that they keep leaving it, conspicuously leaving up 1 mana is a little suspicious to me. Maybe we, like, try to bait it by Flicker Wisping the Skyclave, but I really just want to burn these Skyclaves. And then I can use Wisps to clean up illusions later, rather than having dead Skyclaves in my hand. We can try to, like, bait Plow on Skyclave by targeting with Wisp, and then they're tapped out, and we can, like, jam the Stoneforge or something, but... I'll just jam. If they have Spell Snare, they have Spell Snare. It's fine. Yeah, they kept it, sure. Valid. D&D has a fair number of 2-drops that are going to be pretty good. They shuffle away the Endurance, maybe? Tapping the Hedge Maze is a little weird. I hate having this much, like, board swing in play, where if they, like, find a Wrath of some kind, not only do we lose our board, but they gain a huge board. They would put Loam back in hand. Do I just attack? If they just have... I guess I can attack with... No, if I attack with one, they play the other. 4 cards in hand. I could just cast Yorion. Worse into Force of Will. But it's mana efficient at the very least. If I drawn another land, I think I would have cast a Wisp. So I can, like, Wisp a Skyclave, and then if they Plow, then I can cast a Skyclave on the Beans or something like that. I really don't like 3rd Skyclave here because of the... I was just talking about, like, how bad Wraths are for us, and how we're giving our opponent a bunch of board swing packed into the board here. So, like, Yorion would be nice at exchanging a 2/2 and eating the Beanstalk again. I think it is just Yorion here. If they have exactly Plow, that's kind of fine, because we still have another Skyclave to answer the Beanstalk afterwards. If they have Force here, we at least spent our mana more efficiently. Yeah, there's Force. I don't think I attack here, given they've cast 0 Swords to Plowshares. Loam back, Misty, sure. There it is, Misty. Unknowns. Easily have Binding or... That no attack is crazy display. Is it? I feel like it's just like I'm gonna lose my board if I attack. It's just like they have a single Plow and suddenly I have no creatures in play. This seems not great for me. They're at 15. I'm not really pressuring them. Problem is now I have to, like, Skyclave this Beans again because I don't have the 6th land to, like, use these Wisps. It's gonna be really unfortunate when we get Pyroclasm. cash in a binding before the beans dies, sure. Hey, 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 hey! Cut that out. Hey, get out of here. We only have 5 minutes left, huh? That's not great for me. Not fetching? They want to get Sanctuary for what? Stock up, I guess? Use my let dog back in. Dog's not. I mean, I just shoot her out. I didn't close the door, so you don't have to. I just have 6. I don't know what I'm doing. My hand is fucking flicker wisp, flicker wisp. Interesting to get Brainstormer for stock up. Don't know what that means. Also, my opponent is allergic to getting red mana. Just hardcast Terminus? Lore revealed. Oh, that's a little nasty, huh? Solitude better than Wisp here? No. I'm going to Solitude like an Uro or Murktide. Feels dead. We're behind, but I've definitely beat control from points like this before. Now, after they cast this Pyroclasm, is gonna get a lot worse for me. Man, we've killed 3 Beanstalks. They've played 4 Beanstalk. Imagine if there are 5. True. Imagine if we didn't have any Skyclaves in play. Surely our Solitude will resolve, right? Oh. Fuck, what do I attack with? Just Flicker Wisp. Eat shit to exactly the endurance that they maybe shuffled away. They're at 17. How much do I care if they, like, kill my Skyclaves now? They ping, ding one, block the other. I guess we do kind of want to kill the Beanstalk, though, with the Flicker Wisps. Although we can never do that if they just have removal. Yeah, I think the stack's more fine now. Is this the endurance? I've been sitting on the endurance the whole time? Dang. And the plow. Alright, now I feel pretty dead, huh? Waste green pre-combination for Do they not have triple green there? Alright, I've had enough. Might have just been 2, yeah. Oh, I gotta download the new Worlds Beyond Number. Just came out. Listen on my way to work tomorrow. Shout out Worlds Beyond Number. One of maybe my favorite podcasts right now. Definitely one of my favorite podcasts. I'm a very casual podcast enjoyer, though. I literally listen to exactly enough podcasts that update it exactly frequently enough that I have a commute to and from work time limit and that is achieved every week. It's like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, 5 days a week, and almost exactly the amount of podcasts needed to fill that void. Wish you had a good time of day to be a podcast guy. Yeah, it's literally the only time I can listen to a podcast is driving. I can't like sit on the couch and listen to a podcast or something. I have listened to the podcast at the gym sometimes, but not often. Usually when I'm like really engrossed in an episode and I want to hear more, but like I can't listen to a podcast and also be doing something else because the podcasts that I listen to are like all story driven, like a lot of like actual plays, D&D podcasts and the like. So I need to be like doing more active listening than like doing this while also prepping dinner or something. I get distracted and miss a couple of lines and have to rewind. Anyway, Worlds Beyond Numbers is great. Brennan Lee Mulligan, Abria Iyengar, Erica Ishii, Lou Wilson, D&D podcast. Fucking stacked lineup. This is the first 2 episodes. It was great. Yeah, it's so good. It's a history podcast. I want to walk, otherwise can't follow. Yeah. It's like 2 types of podcasts. There's like background noise podcasts that you can do while you're doing whatever you day-to-day life, cooking or whatever. But then there are like often the actual plays, D&D podcasts where they are like telling a narrative, like basically just listening to an audiobook in a lot of ways. More than just a podcast. Okay, you can come up here, kitty. The match is over. I like how the little round thingy thinks that we're 1-1 because we played match 1 a week ago. That game there was just like I think we just didn't draw. We drew a bunch of answers and we had Thoughtseize and then we didn't draw the cards that we liked. Okay, nope, you're going back. You're drooling on me already. You disgusting drool monster. We just didn't draw like any of our cards that pressure the opponent to take action. Our opponent got to like just sit on their hands and cast a bunch of beanstalks and stuff, and then we got to Skyglade beanstalks, but we didn't really have the board presence to really do anything. No like Bowmasters or Felias or Stoneforges, or I guess we had the Stoneforge, but got by that spell snare. How knows your opponent's record, but not yours? Yeah, some of the bots fucked up after sitting in the league for a week, I guess. 24 days ago on Stifle Knot. Sure, I fucking hope not. I was speak of the devil and it show up here, I guess. Alright, well, hand us lands and spells. Enough, kitty. Leave me alone. Lead with Flooded Strain, figured if we want to fetch Surveil or Basic, depending on what happens. Opponent's name is Great Termagurf. It's a good one. I think we're probably pretty likely to fetch Surveil here. Because you usually just need to fetch Surveil when we're always going to cast a spell on turn 2. Because you just want to like have more looks at land 3. And D&T has so many basics that it's not as punishing to have the one basic. Or, like, get the non-basic on the off chance that they are, like, a Wasteland deck. I guess we'll find out. If they're, like, Delver or lands, we'll probably, fetch mono basics. But if they're a deck that has, like, 1 to 2 Wasteland sometimes, a control deck or something, we'll see. A little time to feel it out. Ermagerd reference guarantees bonus by playing MTGO since the 2000s. Basic Island. Is this like Stifle Knot that's gonna fucking stifle me? Like, actual Stifle Knot? People casting the actual card Stifle in 2025? Man, I mean, I guess we can just not fetch, play another fetch, say go again. See what happens. This is an option. Alright, that's good at least. Next question is, do we fetch in upkeep? No, because we have another fetch, so we still get second stifled. Stifle isn't real, it can't hurt you. I mean, I'm gonna play into it here. The issue is that I can't do anything, even if I cast my fucking spell. I guess if I cast Felia, I have to play around Bowmasters by attacking with Felia with nothing in play and Bowmastering their Bowmaster. That doesn't even work. They ping the Felia and block. The Felia doesn't do anything if they just have Bowmasters. Stop chanting double stifle, chat. Maybe they'll just have one stifle and I won't have to decide what I'm going to cast this turn. Okay, no, they didn't. It's stifle in the... Look, the MTG bot throwing me off my game. Felia doesn't do anything? Yeah, I'm sure everyone's shocked to learn that Felia doesn't have a good attack and is an awkward card in my hand here. Stifle doesn't play Stifle. Yeah, it's just when your opponent leads Basic Island Go, you start thinking, Now I'm trying to decide whether or not what I'm fetching here. I guess it's just basic cast Felia, huh? Maybe we could draw like Stoneforge or something. Something that is good with Felia Flicker. Felia's really good if my opponent just doesn't have anything. My opponent has stone cold fucking nothing, and we just get them. I could just not attack into what is like pretty blatantly an Orcish Bowmaster. Maybe they'll just untap and win. Maybe it is just the worst Doomsday hand of all time. Who knows? Plenty of lands. It's just dressed down, don't worry about it. I guess if they're on blue-black Stifle Knot, then I'm supposed to, like, Bowmaster attack, get super aggressive. Bowmaster attack is just the fucking stone cold worst if they have Bowmaster. Maybe I just attack because this Felia sucks, huh? Just send it to an early grave. Chat's talking me into bad that my opponent's deck is bad. I think I just let this happen, and then if they don't double block, then the Bowmaster can get them. Should I play around days? Probably not. Oh, they do double block. Oh, alright, well that's fine. Just cards trading for cards. That's fine with me. Confirmed they're probably on some slow fair deck. Flicker Surveil, yeah, would be nice, huh? Ooh, Bug? Bug garbage. Alright, I'm into it. And by into it, I mean I am happy that we're playing this matchup, because my deck is very good. I thought Everon was the only guy allowed to have Stifle Knot on his recently played decks, and then also play a Bug Pile. There's no... I always forget. There's no, like, good way to sequence Bowmaster versus Beanstalk, right? I guess it's just, like, if they have Force of Will, you want to cast now? If you're playing around, like, Binding, there's no good way about it. You always get one trigger, right? What am I recruiting for? An answer to Beans, maybe? Man, if only I had, like, a Witch Enchanter in my hand. I really didn't get Bug Beanstalk vibes from Island Go, Underground Sea Go. I could just, like, play Sash and eat the Bowmaster. It's honestly not bad. Just, like, pressure my opponent. Like, eating the Beans player's graveyard is, like, pretty good. Kind of into it, honestly. Maybe this is, like, dumb and bad and stupid. I don't know. I think I just want to play my tap lands that I keep drawing. Seems pretty good. I missed the question because a bunch of things were happening. Has D&D considered joining the modern trend of modern, playing 4X or Enchanted with 75 every white deck? Probably not. Doesn't seem as applicable to Legacy. I think I just attack all. Maybe just like equip Sash to Bowmaster. Oh, I was supposed to eat that. Play around Murderous Cut. Oops. Oh. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that, but alright. This gets pretty ugly if my opponent, casts Force of Will, huh? I could just let it happen. Two of their blocks are really bad. I guess it doesn't get that ugly. Days isn't real either. Oh, fuck yeah. Beans does play Days, huh? It's not that ugly because they only get to kill one of my things. Oh, and I get to ping this. Does pinging this do anything? They're never blocking the Orc Army, so no. They're probably blocking Sash. They're maybe blocking Bowmasters. Yeah. Now Orc Army's big enough with this other Bowmasters to brawl with the Endurance, which is nice. That could have honestly gone worse. Because now my attack is pretty awkward, then just to get to double block. Recruiter for what? Have 3 cards in hand. We could just Recruiter for Skyclave and kill the Beans. I'm honestly not confident my opponent can win if that happens. We could also just Recruiter Stoneforge, get Formal Wear or something, and try to just end the game in that direction. It's awkward that it doesn't use our mana as cleanly. What about more Bowmasters? It's honestly not bad. I guess step 1 is put this card on the stack. Maybe they force a bullet and we just cast the other Bowmaster. We could play around Daze, but they would have dazed us last turn. They only have 2 cards. 2 new cards from then. One from the Beanstalk and one from the draw for turn. I don't hate just Stoneforge. I don't think they are at 8. More Bowmasters isn't crazy, but I'm a little scared that they're just gonna like Murktide me or something. Stoneforge is just more Bowmasters, right? It's just a Bowmaster, but it's a 3/3. Yeah, I just love Stoneforge for 4 more. Too much in this matchup to pass it up. Could even get back Sash if we wanted to. Try to keep their graveyard in check. Second Beans. It's getting a little scary. They are also at a phenomenally low life total at this point for our potential for double Bowmasters. We gonna cast that thing, whatever it's called, Rakshasa's Bargain. Be pretty good. No, that's much worse. Yeah, that's totally fine. Nice. They milled the Rakshasa's Bargain. Killed my recruiter with my 4 more in hand. I'll call that a deal. That's a pretty good one, too. We can just fucking Cauldron my opponent, huh? And if they have Force of Will, we just double Bowmasters them in response. Is this Murderous Cut and we double Bowmasters them in response? They were thinking about it. I think we just get Cauldron. It's Cauldron time. Is this a Murderous Cut now? Sure. Yeah, they're pretty fucked there, huh? They have to jump log with this endurance. This is really funny that if they cast the Murderous Cut on the Stoneforge in response to the other one on the stack, we would just activate the Stoneforge, put in 4 more, get back Bowmasters, and cast Bowmasters, and just absolutely destroy them. I think they would literally die. We get 1, 2, plus 4 triggers. We Wrath them, then attack with a giant orc. Yeah. Alright, Bug Beans, huh? +1 Path, -1 Thalia. White Orchid Phantom and the other Thalia are also both pretty bad, huh? Bowmaster's kind of crazy versus Bug, yeah. Formor also the nuts versus Bug. This card is like just single-handedly gives you like 10% in the matchup, unironically. Pre-formal wear, pre-war formal wear, the Bug Beans matchup was actually kind of annoying because Bug Beans really kind of threaded the needle on like card advantage engines and pressure engines and enough pressure against D&T and enough removal in a good mixture that was really annoying for D&T. But I don't know, pre-war formal just kind of dumpsters them. We could like talk about Wrath of the Skies versus Beanstalk plus like some creature boards with Bowmasters and stuff. I don't know. Thalia really sucks versus the Witherbloom Command Bowmaster deck. You just really don't want this in your deck. And also they have 3 basics. This is probably fine. They're bringing Deed? Yeah, probably. If they have them in the sideboard, they're certainly coming in. But oftentimes they have to like pop Deed into their own beans versus D&T, which can be nice. Seems pretty bad. Even with like lands, just a pile of plows that don't really do anything. Pretty easy mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this. This is a tough one. I could see arguments for, like, almost any of these cards, besides Wasteland, I guess. Or, yeah, besides the lands. You could talk me into Vial, even, but I don't know, Terminal Vial's just really where it's at, huh? These Overlords are just going to be really good. I think it's just Plow. Well, Overlord likely kind of digs us towards answers for Murktide Region. They don't put pressure on you early. All of these cards are just so good in this matchup. Oh, nice. We can even turn to Overlord. And still play our turn 1 Vial. Daze, Force of Will, Witherbloom Commands, kind of whatever. Maybe the Vial just lives. Maybe it just sticks around, you know? Removal Journal kind of sucks first bug. It's a little bit different with D&T because D&T already has, you know, just infinity card advantage. So you just don't want to, like, get poked by, like, Murktides. So you can afford to have some removal. Like, the first copy of Plow's usually pretty comfy to have in hand. Force Pitch Uro, yeah, seems fine for me. Mana, second Uro, second Uro. Pick up Witherbloom again. Kind of be interested to see like pick up Force of Will to protect the Uro or something. I think Overlord into Backstreet's better than Backstreet and Overlord. Because the only cards I'm keeping on top are cards that answer Uro. And like if I top like a Plow, then I can't. Yeah. We need to Impending first. Sure. None of these cards kill an Uro. None of these cards kill an Uro. So this is what I was talking about. about how the first copy of Plow is pretty comfy in hand and not get like punked. But like D&D has, you know, 4 Skyclaves, 3 Skyclaves, 4 Plows, 4 Solitudes, 4 Recruiters to fight Solitudes. Not even like a second creature to attack with Formal Wear here. Alright. I guess we fetch first, huh? Now we're trying to hit like exactly Solitude. I'm going to pitch our Formal Wear too, which is sad, but I think we'd still be pretty ahead. Yes, it is definitely easy to flood on removal versus them, I agree. But D&T feels that pressure a little bit less because of the aforementioned infinite card advantage. Not very good, huh? Would have been nice to hit more than 1 creature and 8 cards, but it is what it is. Bowmaster probably buys us a decent amount of time. I kind of want to chump block with the Bowmaster itself because we know that they have Witherbloom Command in hand. Is that insane? It just like gives me more time for chump blockers. And also like I can Formal back the Bowmasters. Never mind, I think this is just correct. Although I guess if they kill the Bowmasters, I could also Formal back, but if 7 cards in hand. 7's a lot. If we get to like these Overlords coming off suspend though, then we're sitting fairly comfy. Okay, we'll chump block like this. Top pick like Caracas. 4 Caracas, 4 Solitude, 4 Plow, 3 Skyclave, 4 Recruiter. Milled the second Surveil, so we don't have to think about that. We could honestly go for like second Bowmaster plus add Yorion to hand, accelerate this timeline a little bit. The likelihood of us getting Force of Will feels high. Maybe we just have to bait Force of Wills with a bunch of Bowmasters then. They like endurance me here. I guess I feel like a dunce. Fuck. Maybe I should have added your into my hand and played Bowmaster to not get endurance, huh? Now we have the Surveil back. True, but I also kind of need to cast this Bowmaster, probably. Maybe I don't. Maybe we just chump block with the Orc Army now. No attack with the Endurance for some reason. Playing around with this Bowmaster. The Beanstalk, and it's not worth. I mean, I can't imagine there's ever a world where this is resolving, but kind of have to, huh? Holy shit, this just resolved. Oh, okay. Good thing I didn't go for the Yorion plan, huh? Alright, we're almost to the... We've almost stalled to the Overlord stage of the game, but it's probably a little bit too late. Hardcast Forza will? Rakshas's bargain, sure. Alright, lean F6 pretty comfortably here. Pinging their face never matters. This sometimes matters, but unlikely to. Yeah. I could double block the endurance here if I wanted to. Maybe we do, honestly. Top deck Caracas. Probably not being 7 cards in hand with top deck Caracas. I think they're just gonna kill my overlords at this point. Top deck Wisp, Formal Wear, get back Skyclave, Skyclave Uro. Top deck another Bowmasters. Oh, whoops. I guess there's no way to play around Wasteland. I don't have 2 basics. Crazy how much this game changes. I think if we just obviously hindsight 2020 and all that, but the decision on turn 1 on our mulligan to like bottom the plow and keep the Bowmaster and the double Overlord. It didn't help that the Overlords were particularly bad. We hit like 1 creature and 8 cards, and it was just a Bowmaster. Yeesh, alright. Go to game 3. But that is the exact type of game where you do want to have a removal spell in your hand. Back. There's no way like Fairy Macaw's better than Wrath of the Skies just for like 2 Uros. Wrath of the Skies just kind of sucks for these decks, but so does everything else as like the last 2 cards. Maybe White Orchid Phantom's like a little bit better. Doesn't die to Bowmasters. Comes up the ground at least a little bit. It's a really good one. Hands have not been kind to us tonight in terms of supplying lands. If we gambler's fallacy this, we're due. We're due to hit land drops on time, right? Hey, Jared. Double Vial's really strong. I think this keep is more defensible on the draw, but surely we won't die to the Force of Fear we just saw. Yeah, exactly. They probably only have one. We're just saving all the way. Oh, fuck. It's over. It's fine. There's a land on the top. And then a land underneath that one, even. Holy shit. We did it. Alright, step 2. Surely they are not going to cast. They wouldn't dare. Giga Brain is hold. Giant Brain is hold Vial. It's probably not correct too. Pause felt like Force of Vigor, maybe. The pause on my upkeep. There's no reason to ever Force of Vigor a Vial on 1 versus Black White anymore, so they can like hold it for a turn. Oh my god, I'm so good at this game. Holy shit. Let's fucking go. I do have to fetch an on-basic here, which is a little awkward, but... Gambler's fallacy is real, chat. Never let them tell you the odds. They're force-willing this? Yeah, that's fine. Cast beans? Of course, we can Violent. I mean, yeah, obviously you Force a Will the one card that you can actually Force a Will when there are 2 Vials in play. They have 5 cards in hand. I think I just pick up Yorion. I was thinking about like casting a Recruiter to get to a 2-drop or something. Yeah, I don't really know why they forced that and then let the Vials result. Maybe they just drew the Force. Because I don't really want Skyclave. I guess we're immune to... I know we could get Murderous Cut. Think about like Wisp here. Is it just second Skyclave? No, I kind of hate second Skyclave. Why is there always another Beanstalk? You chop something about you chop down the beanstalk and it grows. I don't remember the fable. He cuts it down once and then it's like gone forever. That's kind of like the whole point. Enchanter over Skyclave. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They both kind of blow, but Enchanter definitely blows less. Oops, I stacked these incorrectly. So they had some sort of thing, they could blow me out right there. Consign. Didn't think about that. We saw it last game, but, I mean, we have Yorion, so... I didn't want to do an upkeep because they could, like, Rakshas's Bargain in response and get the bean trigger or whatever. But that was kind of bad. Well, I guess if they Bowmaster the Recruiter, then we can still just Yorion Skyclave the second Beanstalk. We're still pretty comfortable. They never end! Surely they don't have a second Consign to Memory. If they do, they earned it. Yeah, they wanted it more. I wonder if I should have ticked that vial to 4, honestly. Just wishful thinking. I think if this resolves and everything goes according to plan, we're kind of fine with the Skyclave. Oh, are they consigning the wrong one? Are they baiting me? Oh no, they're Murderous Cutting. Sure. Thought it was like, click a spell you can't cast to like make me think. It's like still fairly manageable. It's not great, but that'd be a really good bluff. Yeah, I might have accepted the bluff. I feel like 80% of Moto players don't understand how Consign works versus Yorion and Wisp and just always consign the front half. I don't understand why. Just does no one know how triggers work? Feels like it happens to me way more often than it should. Murktide Regent? Murderous Cut. That's pretty rude. I would have much preferred a Murktide Regent, I'm gonna be honest. God, attacking into a Bowmaster is gonna be really fucking annoying. But I kinda have to do it. There's a lot of ways it goes right for me anyway. If they like just single block the Skyclave after pinging it, and we have a plow. Wow. That's great for me, with my hand of 3 Swords to Plowshares. I'm just trying to think. I don't think 2 damage is worth playing into Daze here. I think I'd rather just cast Stoneforge, get 4 more pass. We haven't seen a Daze all match, but that doesn't mean it's not in there. I feel like Bugbeans has to be like cutting Dazes first TNT on the in post-board games. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Daze. We have Formal War for Recruiter for stuff. We do no this card is literally only turns off Formware, right? This card does not turn off Overlord, right? Overlord doesn't target. Unreal. This card turns off exactly 3 more Formware in my deck. We're getting fucking destroyed. Stop sash. Okay, yeah, sure. Protects your Uro from sash. Slightly more defensible, but I still think it's not very. I think I'm just gonna fucking send it. But it can't drip, so it's fine. There's gotta be better cards in your deck. Do I want to Surveil or do I want to cast my 3 mana equipment to equip next turn? They're at 9 life. I think I want to Surveil. We have a lot of good draws. Maybe that plow was aggressive, but I also have 4 minutes on my clock. Immediately punished. Cool. So 5 better than 4 more first time ever. We got so owned. If we just like grab Cauldra, we just win the game on the spot. Fifth Land does let me equip 4 more, but I don't really think that's what we're going for here. Path to exile the... No, we can path to exile the Uro at least. I don't think attacking gets us anywhere. Especially because we can make Salty to 5-4 potentially with the 4 more. Equip attack now seems better. We can't do it this turn. Equip attack costs 5 mana. We have to path plus put into play and then equip next turn. Society if the equip was 2 mana. Alright, fine. You're not Urowing? Really? You have like another Bowmaster? That's pretty good. Oh god, decision paralysis. I only have 3 minutes left. Fuck me, huh? Go get Stoneforge for Cauldra, I guess? This works, right? Yes. Yorion, or Wisp. We could Wisp the Overlord. They have 2 cards in hand. We could also Recruiter. I think I just want to Stoneforge. Maybe that's wrong. Hardcast Force of Will? Sure. I feel like you kind of wanted that to protect your Uro. So yeah, the Overlord is gonna also put them in the dirt. If I can not time out. My Yorion is long gone. A Abrupt decay. Wait, that's not how that works, right? Do they think they can't cast their Uro? What the fuck is happening? Oh, they. Oh my god. That's so fucking funny. Holy shit, that's so fucking funny. Ouch. Draw another Overlord, please. Flicker Wisp. Wasteland does nothing. We all wish we were on this guy's level. Really? I absolutely do. That's some fucking next level. They showed me. Overlord or Flicker Wisp or Recruiter are pretty nuts draws. If I can not time out in the process. Kitty, not the time to be a little shit. I guess that's okay. It's likely just going to die, especially with this Rakshasa bargain happening, but if there was ever a game where you could say I was bested in the marketplace of ideas, it would be this game. Absolutely. Hey, get out of here. Get out. Thank you. Hey, maybe this Philly just, like, works. You never know. My only has like 5 cards in hand. Anything's possible. Top deck Solitude? I don't even know how many we have left. I ain't gonna do it, Chief. Guess we're not dead. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, pretty much dead. Damn, if only that ground seal hadn't fucking savagely blown us out. Got absolutely annihilated. Oh, that's a fun way to lethal me. Alright, I really have to pee. So let's do a giveaway. And I can run to the bathroom. The giveaway, absolutely ground seal. Not even, no other possible keyword it could possibly be. Type ground seal, all one word in chat. To get your chance at 120 play points, courtesy of Daybreak Games. Literally can't be anything else. That was the funniest fucking ground seal I've ever seen. I'll be right back. We will choose a winner and play our last match here. Luckily, these games have been taking forever, so I can actually just get away with playing 4 matches today and finishing a league hour. absolutely have to stop. Get out of here. Ugh. Alright, we're back. You just gotta recover. You just gotta bounce back from those sometimes. Sometimes you just have to send your opponent a message. I consider us to have... I've definitely been sent a message. My opponent... I was talking about how good forward giving you 10% in the Bug Beans match or whatever. My opponent clearly drank their Respect Forward juice and utterly annihilated me with their Ground Seal. And then Abrupt Decayed their own Ground Seal to stunt on me afterwards. And also to target their card in their graveyard with their weird Snapcaster Mage thing. With their, I think it's just instant speed regrowth, right? For blue-green. I didn't even read the card. I was too busy laughing at the Abrupt Decay my own Ground Seal. Genuinely, I thought that like it was they thought that they couldn't cast their Uro because they didn't cast it the previous turn. They were holding up like Hardcast Force of Will. I've seen Spellbomb's matchup, and honestly, Ground Seal seems better. I'm not confident that's the case. Spellbombs, I guess they both cycle, but like Spellbomb also weakens Overlords. Ground Seal is literally exclusively to hit Lion Sash and Formal Wear. Ground Seal, I would say Ground Seal does a worse job at it because it's much more removable. I guess it's not necessarily more removable, because if you try to remove the Spellbomb, then it just gets cycled away, but Ground Seal cycles on ETB. I would have to see an exact 75 to call it fully indefensible, but I would be shocked just to see that that card was the 60th best card in their deck. And that there weren't cards in the sideboard that they would rather have. We'll keep the giveaway. Oh, did I not even fucking... I typed the giveaway and just didn't hide it. Oh, there is Harain. He's probably not on Beanstalk, or he's probably not on Stifle Knot. If he turn towards me, I'm conceding the match. We can play sixth round. But it's probably just on. If he's on tempo, this hand acts actually like stone cold dog shit. Not a good sign. Yeah, I'm not about that life. It is 11 o'clock. We only played 3 matches today, though. Oh, God. I guess we do get that 5th match. He's dying of laughter. You gotta do something. You gotta do it for the content. Sometimes you gotta take swift and immediate action for the sake of content. He's playing Eater of Days? Unreal. Just playing like meme Stifle Knot. I'm fully committed to just I'm not about that life, man. We could have even like won that game maybe. We had like Wasteland in hand. I already forgot every other card in that hand. But like it is not worth it. That wasn't 2 ships passing on the night, it was the Titanic. Harain, you can't keep doing this. Thanks for the 5 gift subs. Repaying my league entry fee. Please cue into me when you're playing tempo decks next time. Or something. You had CB and Spirit Guide Dreadnought? I'm glad I conceded. I'm so glad I conceded. I've never been more happy to not play a match of Magic. Shout out Harain. Great Legacy streamer. Go follow Harain if you want more Legacy content. Let's play another match. Let's play a match with this deck. This is the deck I wanna. I mean, this deck, if it's not, as if it's not like the exact same. Thank you for the 5. I forget if I said thanks in the middle of the belly aching about getting turn 1 torped. But I appreciate the gifted subs. Thoughts on Moonstompy? I kind of hate Moonstompy right now, both ideologically and also I doesn't feel like it's particularly well positioned. All right, I'm literally booting up Hurried Stream to make sure I don't accidentally queue into him again, but it's like stuck in this ad for some reason. But I feel like Moonstompy just kind of sucks right now because there's an abundance of tempo. Although blue-black tempo is an okay matchup for Moonstompy because they're really bad at pressuring you. But in general, like, you're just not excited. Like, I think the Rug Delver decks are really bad for you, or like especially blue-red with the stupid equipment. Yeah, Barragoyf is a beating out of all the black decks. Sneak or like show and tell decks are back, and that's like a horrible matchup. Oops, you're like okay, but like your hate cards are particularly badly positioned versus Oops. Like Chalice and Moons are pretty mediocre. You kind of need to play some Trinispheres, I think, for like that plus show and tell. Also, just ideologically, it's just such. I don't know. I don't like the deck building has like moved towards with regards to Moonstompy. Just like the shit pile of 4-drops never beating tempo, and just no one ever feels like they tried to actually beat tempo. It's just like all cheese, no finesse, and maybe that's like very. What's the word I'm thinking of? Just like. The previous Moonstompy deck wasn't very finessey either, and just like I want to like feel smarter about myself for like playing Moonstompy when it felt like cooler to me, but I don't know. All right, Harane is safely in a new league. How you saying play another match at 11 p.m.? We you don't understand. You were there for the round 5. We have to get a real round 5 in. Can't believe Howard switched to fucking meme turbo. I literally earlier on the stream I checked his channel and I was like, oh, he's playing tempo or whatever. It's fine if I queue into him. He's just not gonna fucking turn 1 torpor me, and then he switches to fucking meme mono red turbo torpor orb. Just to grief me. Metamoon saw me last weekish and it does not feel good. Yeah, it's not. It's both not interesting and like I genuinely don't think it's super well positioned. I think a lot of players are also suffering from like just moto copy paste brain because I see some Ashen Riders in the sideboards, and I had a discussion with some friends about like why would you play Ashen Rider in your deck over Chaos Defiler ever as like your like anti-show and tell card, and it was coming up fairly blank. I think just one person put in Ashen Riders and then everyone started copying it and no one like thought about it. Alright, if we get turn 1 torpor again, I'm turning off the stream fully. It's over. I'm canceling it. Shrine gives you a nice follow-up bomb. But I mean, so does you miss like 3 damage off your Chaos Defiler, right? You get to exile their land, I guess. The difference between 14 and 17 damage. It gets veiled. It doesn't get veiled. Chaos Defiler doesn't target. Your Ashen Rider gets veiled, right? Oh, that, yeah. Although if you have Veil in your deck postboard versus Moonstomper, you have other problems. But like, very legitimately, there are plenty of times where your Sneak and Show opponent will cast Sneak Attack and not have the extra red mana, or like cast it without having the card defined yet, and you'll have a Fable in play or your Fable Goblin. You'll get to attack, make your treasure token, and then you can just hardcast a Defiler and shoot the Sneak Attack, which Ash Rider is just never ever doing. Seems much better to play Chaos Defiler. But also, I think you probably shouldn't be playing Chaos Defiler or Ashen Rider, and you should probably just play Red Elemental Blast and Disruptor Flutes, because you want those cards versus your other bad matchups, like the Tempo decks and Oops All spells, and like some of the other combo decks. And Ashen Rider and Chaos Defiler are very, very narrow cards for a matchup that, like, isn't... I mean, Show and Tell decks are around, but, like, not nearly frequent enough to warrant, like, 2 sideboard slots just for this one matchup. Oh god, are we playing against, like Tony? Like, Paradoxical Outcome sort of thing? Really wish I had won the die roll, but... is what it is. Cast my spells, lose some games. Could be blue Oops. I think both of these are pretty bad matchups. Maybe Paradigm Shift? Yeah. I mean, good thing for this hand is that I don't have to make any decisions. I will just cast my spells and see how the cookie crumbles. Why'd they shock in the soporifics? Are they like were they holding up something there? What happened? I didn't even register that. What are you holding up there? Hold up hard cast Sink into Stupor? Against, like, if I was playing Yori on Oops and they get me, Hold Breacher, maybe. Yeah, okay, that's a valid one. I could be on, like, Yori on, like, Beans and cast a turn 1 Ponder or something. Psionic Blast. Alright, that's pretty bad for me. Blue Painter, huh? Holding up Blue Elemental Blast, maybe, then? But that doesn't really make any sense to me. Chat, are we cooked? It depends on what my opponent's last cards are, but... oh no, we cut... this is the list that cut the White Orchid Phantom. We can't even White Orchid Phantom this fucking Urza Saga. We're actually cooked. I'm gonna get, like, Solitude or whatever, but that is really funny. Immediately punished for not having a White Orchid Phantom in my deck. I can't cast Recruiter on turn 3 and Vial on 2, pop the Saga before it gets Grindstone. Well, shit, huh? I'm wondering if I if I want to cast the Thalia, or, like, just pitch it to the Solitude that I'm gonna have to get. Because this Witcher Shader is pretty, like, it seems like it's kind of going to kind of be important. I think we just hold the Thalia for Solitude fodder. We can always, like, it does talking too fast. It obviously misses taxing this turn, but we can Vial it in if we want to, like, if they fully tap out for something and we want to play around a Force of Will. If they, like, sack all their petals, play a 1 ring or something. Yeah, the surveil gives us more looks at answers. Scary, huh? This is an interesting build of blue painter. Oh, we're dead. Well, I guess they have to go for it. If their last two cards aren't Force of Will blue card, this feels crazy aggressive, but I guess they got me. Nothing could have prevented this. Shut up! If only we had some sort of card that could have made them spend one more mana for that whole situation. I think it's pretty valid to not play around that exact instance. It has to be like no other mana source into actual Grindstone, a card that they usually play like two of because they're tutoring it with Saga. I stand by my decision. I don't really know what they're up to. They were playing some like pretty suspect cards that make me think that they're like Saprosant Scary is kind of weird. I don't know what exactly that means for my sideboarding choices. Yeah, the depletion line is like, are they like also wheeling with like Narsets or like hold breachers and stuff? It's very weird. The depletion line definitely sets off some red flags for me. Did I just like shave some Bowmasters? It's good against the One Ring, which has got to be in their deck if they're like scraping the bottom of the barrel for soul lands. What are my other cuts? I guess Sash is pretty bad. Thinking about cutting 4 more, honestly. We can maybe cut like a Overlord, Felia. This hand seems pretty good. Was my opponent? My opponent like double queuing or something? Game 1 there was an unnecessarily long pause at the start too. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, there's some Hole Breachers and some Echoes, alright. The jig is up, opponent. It's fucking wheel painter. Yeah, disturbingly Thoughtseize hand is right. I mean, good thing we have a second Thoughtseize, but then they can force the second Thoughtseize. It's either the Force or a Hole Breacher. I think it's the Hole Breacher. Low confidence. We forced the issue, I guess, no pun intended. With the next Thoughtseize, we have like Wrath to sweep up the Saga. We have like draws towards Plow, Path, Solitude. Lead Saga? Oh, they're just trying to get the LED as soon as possible. I guess we can just Thoughtseize them again and Surveil. I guess it's less mana efficient, though. Like, we could just Wrath the Saga right now if we wanted to. We know that our Thoughtseizes can always get forced, so we're not, like, preventing ourselves from dying to top deck LED or something, although they can't cast the Hull Preacher yet. I think I do like just blowing up the Saga. It's just more mana efficient. Especially because we drew the second one, too, so... They might even, like, Force Will this. And then we have second one. I mean, take the Hull Breacher and Stone Raid them. Not a lot of other options here, huh? Shocking to see someone not named G-Hash play this, right? I don't think I'm allowed to play. Yeah, you don't even want to play Overlord here. You want to play the Thalia. Set up the Overlord. Kingdom for a Bowmasters. I mean, we got a lot of looks at one. If we draw like a land, so we can play the Overlord and cast the 2-drop. What's happening? Not the best draw, huh? Kitty, get out of here. Get out of here. You're being a real punk tonight. Well, there goes all my good cards. I guess we'll take this Skyclave. Would have liked that Wasteland. But Skyclave at least helps answer some Karn stuff. Stoneforge versus Flicker Wisp. I guess we take Wisp. Can't even find a Solitude, huh? Are we just Days Undoing? Sure. think we're probably just... Oh, alright, well, that changes things. Let's take a quick peek. At what my opponent has going on over there. Wow, that is not a good hand. I could Thoughtseize the diamond if I want to play around top deck Echo. Or I could attack them for, and then just attack them for 8, flicker nothing. I could play the Wisp. But I guess I don't need to flicker this Overlord multiple times. I could play the Wisp, post-combat flicker. No, because I want to play pre-combat to Thalia, attack, flicker their Sappers and Scary, and just cut them off of a bunch of mana. Just trying to define the way that I lose this game. Definitely involves dealing them 8 off the bat, putting them to 9. And they have a blocker. Maybe it's just like Skyclave the Opal. Just put more damage in play. I guess it's attack first. Flicker nothing. Try to draw. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think I just flicker nothing. Because if I mill like Thalia or Bowmasters, I want to cast it. And I don't think the size of my failure really matters that much. Flicker your Opal. Oh, okay, so flickering Opal is stupid. Whoops. Because I don't think I'm ever casting Skyclave now. This is fine. Kitty, what is your problem tonight? Do I need to like actually kick you out? I almost have to die to nutty tug. Get out of here, Kitty. Get. Come on. We didn't have lethal if we just like Thoughtseize them again, right? That was my issue with Thoughtseizing, that we actually like just didn't have any 2-drops. Lethal if we were playing a Legacy Power. I mean, we're winning, aren't we? It seems kind of unnecessary. Could play Vile and flicker the Vile. Does the 1 extra damage together? I don't think so, because then we would be representing exactly 9 versus a blocker that we couldn't get rid of at instant speed without gaining them life, right? But now we have 11. So, oh, actually, no. Because now they just played out a bunch of artifacts. So we, again, don't have lethal. But also we are fairly insulated because we have Bowmasters in the absolute worst case. Their end is Ancient Tomb Saga Unknown. Now we just attack Plow, I guess? Play the Wisp, Wisp the Saga, Thalia flickers Construct. They're currently, yeah, the giveaway's still there. Yeah, that is exactly 9. Yeah, that play seems better. I'm sitting here thinking about what I want to do. I think it's just attack all, hold up Bowmasters, can't really lose to a lot. Flicker out a Mox Opal or whatever. Guess this gives them an extra mana because they can tap it. I don't know. We're in the take game actions portion of the stream. Do I want the Wisp now? I think they're just gonna die, so it doesn't matter. Solitude beats like some random Hull Breacher bullshit. I guess I just let the block happen. I don't plow it, right? Because it's just a 4/4 now. I guess I could block the Thalia. No, then they die to the Bowmaster. They just have to chump block Overlord. We're taking bad game actions now, but it's the the time of the night where we're all about taking bad game actions. Oh, okay, they're just dead. Cool. I don't have to think more. Let's just Thoughtseize to be safe. Alright, game 3, huh? I don't think these cards are good. Maybe the trap's good. Am I supposed to board in ley lines versus this deck? I'm very perplexed by what they're doing, yeah. Could honestly buy like any number of these cards. I think I don't, even like Thalia's like kind of okay. Maybe we just do this. We just have 2 equipment. Seems kind of fine to just always get Cauldron unless you're like really making sure that you don't die to some creature. The rest of our deck feels pretty reasonable. We'll finish we'll end the giveaway after this match ends and then close and then end the stream. Their deck is very weird. It does just feel like a G-Hash deck, but then has Painter Grindstone in it for some reason. I guess I keep this. A lot of like blisteringly fast bullshit starts that we're gonna lose to here, but we also have a lot of good interaction pieces that I don't think we're really allowed to mulligan. The ability to hold up Flute and Bowmasters on turn 2 is pretty nice. If they like try to wheel or they try to Karn or something. And we have Plow on turn 1 to try to beat a Hull Breacher or a Painter. just gonna get echoed and we'll call it a night, huh? Yeah, I'm good. Alright. Yeah, I'm fine. Let's go to bed. Enough magic for one day. Let's go raid somebody. Not fucking Everon. Is there literally anyone else online? Alright, let's end the giveaway. Eric, congratulations. You're the winner of the last Playpoint giveaway of May. It is indeed rigged. I think you've won this like 3 times. 4 times? I've sent you 4 codes? Bro. Oh no, you've only sent me 3 codes. Oh, I've only sent you 3 codes. The 4th is a message where you said happy birthday. Alright, let's find something to raid. And maybe it is Efron. He did gift 5 subs and all. Bribed me back into his good graces. And I doubt there's anyone else online playing Legacy right now, huh? Alright, twist my arm about it. I'm here every week. That's what the loyal XJ Cloud viewers get. Get to watch him realize too late Sundial of the Infinite is a sweet card. Did he forget to put Sundial of the Infinite in his deck? He has it, he just keeps missing. Oh, okay, I see. You just can't use it, right? That tracks. Alright, that's gonna be it for me, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Very weird stream tonight in a lot of ways, but yeah, sometimes that happens. We'll be back next week. Probably playing some more Overlord. I imagine I might not. We might just be re-entering this same league that we're sitting here in, but who knows. Hopefully I'll get to work on making a sideboard guide for Overlord TNT as well, and get a little more prep in for the upcoming showcase challenge, although I actually need to grind QPs for that also. So we'll see. Maybe I will end up playing a little bit because I need to grind some QPs. Anyway, see you guys all next week. Thanks for watching.